Welcome back to the Market with Mario show. Today we have Darren Savage on with us with Sightfire, and they do web design and marketing, and they're going to really talk to us today about your website. A lot of businesses this time of year are looking towards their next year to see what they're doing with updating their website or getting a new website. So Darren, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I did talk to you a while back and have been, following you guys and looked at your website. And it looks like you guys work with a lot of home service contractors like we do. Tell me a little bit about how you guys decided to narrow down to that niche.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start with our story, which is a story of a lot of marketing agencies, but we started out as just a generalist agency that we build a website for anybody and everybody. Just kind of take whatever business came our way, not really an expert in anything. And as time went on, we saw that for ourselves, that was a difficult model to operate in, but also for our clients, it was more difficult to get them good results and consistent results. And so we knew that we really wanted to find a niche and really focus on that and become experts in that space. Some things that drew us to the home services space are just there's always going to be a demand for that type of work, for especially in the home repair, roofing, HVAC, plumbing, those things. As long as people own homes, there's going to be a need for those services. But it's also a respect for those services. That work is not easy. And sometimes our society puts an emphasis on white collar work and not blue collar work. And we really see the importance of blue collar work and understand that those guys and gals are very skilled at what they do. So it's just kind of an appreciation of it and wanting to help those businesses. It's difficult for them to focus on their operations and their marketing, and we see a lot of home service businesses. It's just a guy that started in a truck. He's out slinging lumber or fixing AC units himself, and really a desire to be able to give them an opportunity to focus on the marketing that they wouldn't be able to do without the help of an agency.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit on a couple of things there that really I liked, and I love that you guys are results driven. There's a lot of companies out there that will just build a website, here you go, it looks pretty, but does it actually drive traffic? Does it actually convert to get them more customers? So I love the fact that you actually care on the other side of how the website actually performs, and we share that common thread of really the respect level for what they do. So when we're on location filming and getting content, it's really neat because you get to see the intricacies of what they do in their craftsmanship and their expertise. So I love the fact that you guys have that respect for them, because our society does tell us, yeah, go get this degree and put on a suit and tie and go into a cubicle. And these guys are out there, making the world go round. And we saw that in 2020 with the essential workers, and a lot of those businesses were thriving. So we definitely share that level of respect for those guys that go out there, get it done, they're running their crews, they're handling business, and most importantly, they're taking care of homeowners. So if these guys have a website, they're just going about their business, what are some warning signs that can tell that businesses can look for on their website to tell them, you know what, it is time to either update their website or just kind of scrap the one they have and start over?
Yeah, I think the first one is the most obvious if it's not performing, right? If you're getting traffic to it, but it's not resulting in actual revenue to your business, or if you're just not even getting traffic to it at all, right? That first and foremost, that if that's happening, it's time, right? But also, if it's been 2 to 3 years since you've looked at the design of your website, it's probably time to give it a look. And it might not need a complete from scratch redesign, but an overhaul could really help freshen it up. Maybe your brand has changed in that time. Your trucks out in the field, your wraps and stuff may be different, and you want to make sure that all of that is consistent. Also, if it's a website that you've built, maybe on a like Wix or a do-it-yourself platform, because that's all the money that you had at the time, perfectly fine. A lot of people start there, but a lot of times it's hard to really get results on a DIY platform. Also, if you're having technical trouble, if you're having a lot of issues with your site being down, customers can't access it, or they're unable to navigate certain parts of it, And also maybe there's functionality missing that you'd like to have. So maybe you want your customers to be able to schedule online, or book appointments or request quotes or things like that, and you find that you can't easily do that on the platform or the setup that you have. Those are all good signs that it's probably time to do something.
No, that makes a lot of sense, especially the part about the conversions, because if people are going to the website, they're leaving right away, or, there's a slow load rate, or there's just things on the website that make your brand look unprofessional for the level of the quality of work that you do. That's one thing that I'm bullish on when I meet with a client. Now, we don't do web design. We would refer to someone, like yourself. But I do, in our client meeting, will bring up certain things that don't match their brand. They may be doing high quality outdoor kitchens, or they're doing this high level work, and then you go to their website and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Right.
it doesn't match. It doesn't correlate. So that's why I love having people like yourself to rely on and say, hey, we don't do this, but there's someone that I know and trust that we can refer out to. So if someone out there, they own, the plumbing company, the HVAC, the home services, it may seem overwhelming. They may be listening to this, they're nodding their head, and they're thinking, yeah, we definitely need a new website, or at least an updated website like you're talking about. But that may seem overwhelming to just start over. So kind of tell me a little bit about your process and how you guide the client through the design process and what they need to have available, maybe, the timeline, to kind of take that, objection, so to speak, off the table for them.
Yeah, I'm really glad you bring that up, because you would think that budget and price is the number one objection we get to coming on board and using our services. It's usually not. Usually by the time we provide a quote, people are like, hey, that sounds good, that's in budget. They're afraid that it's going to take too much of their time, right? The reason they're coming to us in the first place is they don't have time to do this themselves, and they just want to hit an easy button, and then bam, they've got a killer digital presence that's crushing it, So somewhere in the middle of all that is the reality. We've worked really, really hard to create a smooth onboarding process that minimizes the amount of time that a business owner is going to have to invest to get things rolling. There's no way around it. They're going to have to put in a few hours. They're going to have to answer some questions. If they've got some media, some images, video already on hand, they're going to have to send us those things. But we actually send out a digital questionnaire that takes about 30-40 minutes for them to fill out, and walks them through answering all the questions that we need to get started on both their website and their marketing campaigns. And one of the things very powerful is that we'll ask, show us 3 websites you like and what you like about them. Show us 3 that you don't like and what you don't like about them. And it is amazing that with those, kind of 6 sites in mind, we can get really, really close to the perfect idea that they have in their head for a website. And they're like, how did you guys do that, And so it's not a lot of back and forth. It's not sending over a bunch of mock-ups and a bunch of revisions. And I think especially for contractor businesses, they just want something that matches their brand, looks good, and makes money, right? We're not trying to win art contests here. We're not trying to, have the most modern, trendy, flashy designs. And so also a benefit of us focusing on a particular niche is we understand really well the kind of copy that needs to go on a contractor website, the types of layouts that people respond best to from a user experience and from a conversion standpoint. And so we're not having to creatively reinvent that wheel every time we onboard somebody. So somebody comes to us and yeah, their brand's unique to them and their story and their voice and all of that, but we already know a lot about what they're going to need on their website because we do that over and over again.
No, I love that. And that sounds like you've taken a lot of the headache out of the process that
Yeah.
most people either think is going to happen or they experience that with another web design firm. I absolutely love the idea about them sending you the websites that they like. And then what is very unique that I haven't heard until just now is them sending you websites that they don't like.
Yeah.
So I love that part as well. So you can avoid those kinds of things. So that's outstanding. We've kind of talked about a lot of different kind of variables here and topics. What are some things that you really want to make sure that the people understand about web design firm that we may not have covered?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I would want people to understand is that it's not just focusing on any one area of your digital presence that's going to really move the needle. I mean, yes, you can do paid ads and not even have a decent website, but you got a good landing page, you're going to make some money off that. You can just do SEO, and you know, months down the road when that really starts to take off, you're going to benefit from that, right? But when you have a marketing agency, or really it's more of a revenue generating partner is the way you want to look at it, that helps you show up in all those different channels. And so you think about it from a potential customer standpoint. If they're seeing your website, if they're seeing ads about your business, if you're showing up in the map results, the local SEO results, if they're seeing you on social media, after a while, who are they going to call when they have a problem, right? They trust your brand, they see you everywhere, and it's a psychological thing of, okay, if these guys are everywhere and top of mind, that's who I'm going to go with, right? And so, you know, don't just focus on the website. You know, if somebody just needs a website to get started and that's all they have the budget for, that's a great start. But ultimately, in the long term, it's not going to do much to move the needle on your business. Yeah, I don't know if you got any thoughts on that.
No, I love that because, like you said, it's an all-encompassing part of the business and part of your brand. And I'm very similar when I tell people, look, we're not coming in to replace your other marketing efforts. We're coming in to complement the other marketing efforts, because you can't just do a good video without having a great website, or social media without, you know, doing even some mailers and things like that. Just an all-encompassing marketing strategy so that all of your eggs are not in one marketing basket. So I really love the approach you guys have taken over the last few months. Just been very impressed with you and your company. And just a small plug for Darren. If you are in the EntreLeadership community, Dave Ramsey hosts the podcast. Darren is on one of the episodes. I'll try to include it in the show notes on which one it was, but I was like, wow, I know this guy. It was cool. So a little celebrity. So if someone out there is listening, they're like, yes, this is me, I am ready. What is the next step they need to take for you to set up a meeting with them?
We make it very easy. Go to our website, www.sitefire.io. You'll see contact us. There's also links you can click to set up a call with myself. Our sales approach is we're educational, we're not pushy. So when we get on a call, we want to understand about your business, what your goals are. We'll tell you how we think we can help you achieve those goals and help you understand what you need to do, whether you use us or a different agency, the things that you need to look for. Obviously, if you want to partner with us, we would love that. But we want you to walk away from that call with a solid understanding of what you need to grow your business from a digital marketing standpoint. And one thing that I would like to add is it's very important that whoever you work with gives you ownership of the things that they create for you. That's such a problem in this space. And some of it's ego-driven. You know, agencies are so proud of their work and they forget who they're doing that work for. If you're paying an agency to build you a website, that's your website and you own that. Same thing with your domain, your ad accounts, all of that. So we're not providing a product so much as we're providing a productized service, right? But the clients of ours own all of the assets.
Yes, that is so important. I'm so glad you brought that up as something to look for in your marketing agency, for sure. So if you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, that's me, please reach out to Darren and his team. I know they're going to take great care of you. Well, Darren, this has been a wealth of knowledge. I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing with us today, and we look forward to teaming up and helping these home service contractors out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a blast, and hope we get to do it again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.